After a cold, clear night, the sun came up, and it could have been a wonderful morning to be out on the Firth, but the tide had ensured that I was harbour bound for a few more hours yet.
Well, Anstruther Harbour really does drain. Even the entrance dries out, actually. So, I'm not going to get in here.
I spent the morning pleasantly wandering along the beach and admiring the low tide rock pools that come right up to the edge of town. The layers of rock are canted down towards the sea, creating sharp ridges which hold back the retreating tide, leaving an ever-changing micro-geography where tiny garden-sized pools and lakes feed rivers no wider than a shovel. They meander their way back to the sea, only just running dry before the tide returns to cover everything with a surging mass of water. While walking along and filming, I fell into conversation and shared a fag with a Scottish potter. We sat and contemplated and counted our blessings that we live in a world where such visual treats are all around us. Just imagine living in a place where such delights are just a few steps away from your own back door.
That's pretty good, isn't it? Place is selling itself. Carpets Unlimited. Carpets Unlimited, yeah. Approved by Artico and Condine Studios. WW Dream Floors. Created by Design. Hooray! Which is all so much better than created by accident, I always think. And your name is?
My name's Ian Pettigrew.
Ian Pettigrew.
Yeah.
And what do these buttons do on the side then?
An organ circles everybody. These are stops or registers for switching the different instruments on and off, or mixing them.
So it's not just a case of cranking that handle?
No, I'm conducting a very small orchestra, right? Right. If you see the brass pipes at the front, there's 16 of these, and these are pan flutes. So there's 16 pan flutes. The next ones behind up with the wee wooden stops in them are bourdon pipes. There's 16 bourdons. That is an instrument, but only found in an organ.
So you can solo each one, can you?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Church organs are full of bourdons, right? The next rank is the ones with the wee metal flaps on the top are violins. There's 16 violins.
Yeah.
And the next rank is accompaniment pipes. There's 10 accompaniment pipes. At the very back there's 16 two-foot stopped flutes, right? And underneath there, all the way around, are 5 pairs of bass pipes.
Wow.
And the bellows is from there up to about there, and the bellows takes up the whole length of the organ and the whole depth of the organ.
What are you going to play now then?
Well, I don't know till I pull it out, you know.
Do you not?
Just give me a minute, just to see what I've got here, what's handy.
Why did you buy it?
Pardon?
Why did you get it?
Why did I get it? I
Yeah.
love the sound. I love the sound.
You've always loved it, have you?
Yeah. I heard my first. Well, I heard my first one. I think probably when I was a kid, but I can't remember it. Right. And my wife and I were on holiday one year, and we'd never been to a steam fair before.
Yeah.
And my wife and I thought, oh, a steam fair, I wonder what that is. We'll go and see what it is. It'll be a day out for us, right? So I went to a steam fair on a Saturday, right? And it was down in, it was in Berkshire, I can't remember the name of the place. Maidenhead.
Yeah,
Maidenhead,
I lived down
Berkshire,
there, yeah.
and I went to a steam fair, and the first organ I heard that day was a modern fairground organ, smallish, and it was playing its best tune, and it wasn't even a particularly good make, but it was playing its best tune, right?
Right, if I take a picture.
And it was playing the St. Louis Blues as a march, and the snare drums were so crisp on it.
Really?
This was good. Well, we fell in love with that immediately. My wife especially liked that particular organ.
Can I ask you a rude question then?
Yeah?
How much is it worth?
It cost a good car.
That's a fantastic answer.
What did you say?
The cost of a good car. That's such a good answer. And of course that all depends what you think's a good car. What's a good car to me might be...
And the amount of music that I have is worth even more than the organ. Right.
You look this way just for a minute.
I have about, I've got in the region of 8 or 900 to 1,000 tunes.
Have you really?
Aye.
What are you going to put on now then?
I can't carry them all with me all the time. Like I could only bring so many at a time. You know?
What are you going to put on now then?
Well, do you want to hear something a bit more modern?
Yeah, go on. I'll put the other pound in the box now. There you go.
Well, what about this? Sweet Georgia Brown.
Yeah,
that's not
that'd be
modern
great.
either.
That'd be great.
But, if you knew Susie, that's my
Yeah.
baby now. Whispering, bobbing needle foxtrot. That's quite a good one.
Okay, cool. Very big swing mast motorcycle. That's purity for you, isn't it?
By the time there was enough water in the harbour entrance for me to leave, the cloud had rolled in and the firmament had gone as grey and dull as only Scottish skies know how to go. Dreek is the word around here for damp and dull, but I'm a sailor and only two things will keep me in harbour: too much wind or not enough water.
Cloudy today. It might break up a bit. I can see kind of tiny patches of blue through here, but it generally looks pretty manky in all directions. I might just, in a while, plug its coordinates into the sat-nav, because it would be useful to know where it is. When I say sat-nav, I just mean the GPS. Good on KTL. Well, I've stowed away the gaff, and I've just got the coaster up. The tide is ebbing at, again, probably about a knot, and so I'm trying to head to the Isle of May. Yesterday was windy but warm. Today is cold, but you know, good breeze, just the right breeze. But it's a bit dreich, sort of. Yeah. That is a seal flipping me off. And when one starts, quite often a lot of them will come out and do it.
It's a curious place, a mile long, half as wide, with only one decent landing place, that dries every tide. The name Isle of May probably means Island of Gulls, but it's much better known for the hundreds of seals that breed here each winter. It was once home to the almost inevitable monastery. The religious nuts, it seems, just can't leave such places alone. This one was at one time, back in the 12th century, home to 9 Benedictine monks who were paid by the Diocese of Reading, which is 500 miles to the south of the Firth of Forth down in leafy Berkshire, somewhere around the top of the Thames. Their job was to pray 5 times a day for the souls of the kings of Scotland, who must surely have been very, very naughty people.
Wow, baby. You dude. I'm running for home, but I might have left it a bit late. I think I might get a bit wet.
That evening, yet another bunner of a storm came rattling through. But by the time it arrived, I was safely inside the harbour, tightly tied to a pontoon and for much of the night hard aground, which is the best place to be when sitting out a Scottish gale.
Ooh, that's nasty. I don't think it's going to last long. It's blowing up nasty. Really nasty.
It's a stinky old night.